Hi, my name's Eileen Griffiths, and I'm the Environmental Health and Safety Manager for Columbia River Carbonates. Today I'm going to talk to you about our policies and procedures so you can make good choices and have a safe day while working at our facility. CRC began operation in 1985 and specializes in high-quality limestone, also known as calcium carbonate. We manufacture a variety of products, including dry powder, slurry, and prilled forms, which serve industries such as paper, paint, agriculture, and water purification. CRC is under the jurisdiction of MSHA, the Mine Safety and Health Administration. CRC is responsible for enforcing MSHA regulations pertaining to you while on site. The purpose of this video is to provide you with site-specific hazard awareness training so you can have a safe workday and understand your MSHA responsibilities. Site-specific training is offered online and in-house and is mandatory for anyone walking through the plant site or performing work on our properties. If you are taking this training online, you must check in at our main office to verify your training and to finalize paperwork before beginning work. If you're watching this video in-house, a CRC representative will finalize your paperwork when you're done watching this video. This training is valid for 1 year, and contractors, visitors, and vendors must wear a visitor's badge and sign in and out each time you enter or leave the site, even for brief absences. Make sure your visitor's badge is displayed at all times. We have 2 sign-in areas. One is located inside the front office, and the other is at an undercover area outside of the maintenance shop. The outside sign-in can be used after you have verified your safety training with the front desk. Wearing the correct PPE is critical to your safety. High visibility clothing, along with a hard hat, safety glasses, gloves, and steel or composite toe boots are required. Wear hearing protection in production facilities and marked areas. A U.S. Coast Guard approved life jacket must be worn when the danger of drowning exists due to an unguarded edge. Our marine terminal has signs that indicate life jackets are required to access the walkways to the mooring dolphins. Life jackets are also required in all water vessels and when operating mobile equipment by water. Contractors are required to provide their own PPE for work performed at our facilities. For the safety of everyone here, please read and follow all posted signs. The speed limit is 10 miles per hour. CRC is a busy place with truck traffic, mobile equipment operation, and pedestrian traffic 24 hours a day. Be alert and use extra caution when driving or walking by doorways, step-outs, and blind corners. Listen for backup alarms and horns. Due to the large amount of truck and mobile equipment traffic, it's crucial that you learn and follow the established traffic patterns at each of our sites. U-turns and shortcuts that alter these patterns are prohibited. For the east plant, drive clockwise in relation to the main plant and office building around the facility. The west plant and marine terminal drive counterclockwise in relation to the main facility. Some roadways may take you over rail crossings. Follow posted signs to stop and look for rail traffic before proceeding across the tracks. If a gate has closed the road due to rail movement, you must wait until a qualified CRC employee opens the gate to indicate it's safe to cross the tracks. Always honk your horn when moving from a stop position. This includes movement in either a forward or reverse direction. Smoking, chewing tobacco, e-cigarettes, and vaping are limited to designated smoking areas only. Keep fire safety in mind. Use cigarette receptacles located within each smoking area. Calcium carbonate is non-hazardous and non-toxic, but the stone forms naturally and contains minerals such as quartz. If you are doing cleaning activities or working in an area that is dusty, we recommend wearing a NIOSH-approved dust mask or respirator to avoid breathing in particles. Use caution when working around slurry storage tanks, processing equipment, transfer lines, and pumps. Slurry temperatures can reach up to 200 degrees Fahrenheit and can cause serious burns when contacted. As in most industrial facilities, there are many different types of chemicals used in our process. You have the right to know the health and safety aspects of each chemical. CRC has a HAZCOM program, and all safety data sheets are kept in a database that can be accessed from a company computer or by scanning posted QR codes. If you bring chemicals on site, you must provide your CRC project manager with a copy of the SDS for each chemical. Any chemical you transfer from its original container into a secondary container must meet our standards for labeling. Even a bucket used to transport or hold water must be labeled water. No unlabeled containers are allowed. Eye wash bottles and shower stations are available where chemicals are used and stored. Always locate the nearest eye wash station to the area in which you will be working. CRC provides first aid and bloodborne pathogen kits as well as AEDs and rescue skids for emergency and first aid situations. We also have rescue buoys by water areas. Report all injuries and near-miss incidents. MSHA and other state laws require accidents to be reported. It's also important to know what caused the injury so corrections can be made to prevent further incidents. In the event of an emergency, such as a fire or earthquake, go directly to the emergency staging area for the facility you are working. Look for the signs towards the front of each facility and gather there for roll call and safety instructions. CRC produces animal feed products and must follow FDA good manufacturing practices. We ask that everyone wash their hands after using the restroom, cover cuts and scrapes, wear clean work attire, eat and drink in designated areas, and refrain from spitting on the ground. Nuclear energy is used to measure solids in our slurry process. This equipment is sealed for your protection, and the locations are identified by signs. Only licensed personnel are authorized to work on these devices. Do not, under any circumstances, touch, attempt to work on, move, or tamper with the nuclear devices. Contact our nuclear safety officer if you have questions. CRC has many motor-controlled circuit rooms that power our processes. Do not enter these areas without authorization, for they can be dangerous and present arc flash hazards. If your work activities require lockout, you are required to comply with our lockout, tagout, tryout policy. Energy must be isolated prior to service or maintenance activities. This means all energy, including stored or residual energy, must be relieved, blocked, bled, restrained, or otherwise rendered safe to achieve a zero energy state. Each zero energy state must be verified with a tryout process. Your CRC project manager will provide you with a copy of our lockout policy. If your job activities require extension and power cords, they must have a 3-prong plug and be in good condition with no frays, cuts, or exposed wires. Use a ground fault interrupter around wet environments. CRC has numerous confined spaces that are permit required. These spaces can only be accessed after a permit has been filled out, signed by an authorized entry supervisor, and a trained entrant is equipped with a gas monitor to continually monitor air quality. A hole watch is mandatory, and fall protection equipment with a rescue line may be required. MSHA requires fall protection whenever there is a potential to fall. If your activities involve fall hazards, you may need to wear a harness and lanyard to maintain 100% tie-off. Due to these strict fall protection rules, climbing or walking on the back of vehicles or mobile equipment may be prohibited, even if it meets OSHA rules. CRC provides items that can be used to maintain fall protection requirements, such as a tarping station and rolling staircase ladders. Talk with your CRC project manager for more information if your job includes working from heights and you have questions. If you will be welding or doing activities that create a spark, a hot work permit must be obtained from CRC's maintenance manager prior to starting work. The permit must be filled out and kept with the cutting or welding equipment used for the job. A fire extinguisher must be available, and a fire watch may also be required. Compressed gas bottles, including propane tanks, must be secured with a chain or stored in a base to prevent falling. Compressed gases must also be equipped with a clamshell or ring-type cap and kept closed when not in use. Do not break ground without an underground locate and dig authorization. Our facilities have miles of underground product lines, electrical conduit, and gas lines that could be dangerous if impacted. Contractors who cause damage to underground facilities without authorization to dig can be liable for all damage caused. Contractors are not allowed to operate CRC mobile equipment without authorization. If authorization is granted, you must have a current training card on record with our front office or receive training from a CRC competent trainer for each piece of equipment you operate. When operating equipment, seatbelt use is mandatory. Cell phone use while driving or operating equipment is prohibited. A harness and lanyard are required when operating all aerial lifts, including scissor and man lifts. Wheel chocks are required when parking on an incline. Always be aware of overhead power lines and other dangers in your working area. Foot traffic at a mine site can be especially dangerous. To ensure your safety, please follow these guidelines and be alert for audible warnings. You are required to use the crosswalk when walking across Pekin Road from one facility to the other. The crosswalk has flashing lights that will illuminate when activated. Activation of the flashing lights while using the crosswalk is mandatory. Use the painted pedestrian walkways where available to and from your destination. In areas where there is no painted walkway, use caution and be alert for activity around you. Do not walk and talk on your cell phone. If you need to take or place a call, find a safe location to stop so that you are not in danger of moving machinery and truck traffic. CRC has several restricted areas that require permission to walk through. The East Drive product warehouse is off limits to pedestrians due to a high volume of forklift traffic. Railroad tracks are also off limits to pedestrians. We have a large fleet of rail cars, which are used for transporting finished products to our customers. Rail cars can be moved without the aid of power and are very silent. Our locomotive can be operated remotely and can start up at any time. CRC has a strict policy to keep off the tracks unless you have authorization from the rail operator. Some walking routes may take you over rail crossings. Follow posted signs to stop and look for rail traffic before proceeding across these areas. If a gate has closed the area due to rail movement, you must wait until a qualified CRC employee opens the gate to indicate it's safe to cross. The West plant also has a high volume of mobile equipment operating inside and outside the warehouses. Be vigilant when walking around the outside of these buildings, as mobile equipment could be driving in and out. Permission to walk inside these busy warehouse areas is required from the plant manager or operator prior to entry. We have many stone piles throughout our facilities. These areas are subject to heavy truck traffic and mobile equipment operations. Do not enter these areas without direct permission from the loader operator. Do not assume equipment operators see you. Use good communication, including eye contact, with hand signals to verify you have been seen and gain permission to walk in these areas. When walking around, you may see caution and danger tape. Taped areas indicate that it may not be safe for pedestrian traffic. Red tape areas are restricted, and you will need to find an alternate route to your destination. Proceed with caution through yellow taped areas and read the barricade tag to understand the hazard. To discourage birds from nesting at the marine terminal, CRC has installed bird lasers. These devices are classified as 3B, and direct exposure is hazardous to your eyes. Anyone at the marine terminal within the areas the lasers are active must wear special safety glasses when the units are operating. The red lens safety glasses are located inside the terminal's control room. Housekeeping is an important part of the job and can help eliminate workplace hazards. Keep your work areas neat and orderly and free of slip and trip hazards. Food waste must be put into garbage cans with lids, and flammable items need to be disposed of in a metal garbage can with a lid. CRC cares about your safety. If something doesn't seem right, stop work and contact your CRC project manager right away. Our safety culture stems from compassion, modeling safe behaviors, and empowering each other to maintain safety compliance. If you see something, say something. We can't make positive change if we don't know there is a concern. On behalf of everyone at CRC, thank you for watching this program and have a safe day.